Thank you for clicking on, downloading, and joining me for How to Write a Book in 30 Days. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. So I'm Coach Ed. I have a publishing company called Vision Birthers Publishing where I simply help individuals who are first-time authors, second-time authors, or those who are the underdogs and do not have the big publishing deals to self-publish their own books. Now, one thing about it, in my last 4 years of doing this, we've been able to help clients publish books from every possible topic, from children's books to devotionals to self-help to textbook inserts. If you can think of it, we've been able to have our hand in it. And guess what I've also learned over these last 4 years of doing this? You can write a book in 30 days or less. Now, I know you are convinced because you've heard the horror stories of authors that I've been working on this book 10 years. I've been working on this book 5 years. I've been working on this book 3 years. It was the hardest thing that I've done. Let me tell you something about writing. Writing a book is not the hardest thing that you'll ever do. I guarantee you, you have been through worse. You've gone through worse. You survived worse with a smile on your face, with nice matching clothes on your back. I promise you, it's not the hardest thing that you will ever do. Now, is it tough sometimes? Absolutely. Penning your story, kind of going back into areas in your life that may have been hard, that may have been tough, or sometimes even just putting together the resources to compile a career advancement document or tool or resource for someone, it can be a little challenging, but I promise you this, it won't be the hardest thing you'll ever do. So welcome to How to Write a Book in 30 Days with Coach Ev. Welcome back. So let's jump right on in. So I'm going to tell you guys my surefire strategy on how to write a book in 30 days. And I'm telling you this, A, because I've done it more than one time, about 4 times specifically, and I've helped about 50 to 60, probably close to 80 authors do this in the last 4.5, 5 years of doing it. So this is where it all begins. One thing about writing and why it's not hard is because you are telling what you have felt purpose and charged to do. Like, that's right, You're writing about something that you're passionate about. You're writing about something that you know firsthand because you were there, you remember, or you're putting together a beautiful story that is going to touch the hearts and lives of so many that could probably be turned into a Netflix series, because sometimes your writings and your lives are just that good because you are a creative genius. Yes, you right there are a creative genius. So let's dive in. So why and how you can write a book in 30 days. The first thing to know is that writing is easy when you have a structure. So, you know what? I'm going to go back a step. Why? Why should you write? Well, I'm telling you why you should write. Because the world is waiting on you. The world has been waiting on your story, your intellect, your wisdom for some time now. Like, they've waited. And if 9 times out of 10, if you're watching this, or maybe 8 times out of 10, you've probably started a book, stopped a book, started a book, stopped a book, plenty of times. But this time you're going to finish it. So back to the why. The why. Why do we write? Well, I've learned something a long time ago. A wise woman that raised me told me that the gems of life are locked into books. Now, when I think about that and I process that statement, the gems of life are locked into books, it makes me think about all of the amazing books that have transformed us, our lives, our logic, our thoughts, and who we are. Whether it was the Bible, whether it was the Quran, whether it was a textbook, whether it was a memoir, whether it was a tell-all, whether it was a sci-fi book, there has been a book or a textbook. How did I forget a textbook? At some point in time in your life, a book has been able to make a tremendous imprint on you, on your thought process, your logic, your being, your how you go about things, how you make things happen. A book has been that for you. That's why you should write. Yeah, you. Is because you should be what somebody else was to you. Some of the things that imprinted your life have not lived forever. Some of those manuscripts and some of those books have died off and gone on with generations past. But what about you? Your book, your wisdom, your intellect, your resources, your knowledge is for the future. It's for those to come. So why not put it all together? Like, think about it. Think about it. You, say if you're the career woman, if you've learned how to master and how to navigate managing men in the workplace, why would you not write that and pen that and put that together for other female bosses or female CEOs that are rising to the ranks of different corporations who need to know how to lead men? Right. Crazy, right? What if your story how you overcame a life of poverty and sexual abuse and physical abuse, but yet you were able to rise from the ashes and get a degree and start a business, and now you're living out a full, healthy life, and you use some practical points to be able to deal with your trauma, to understand what was going on, to even process through and to mature even through that mess. Why would you not put that down to help the next boy, the next young lady, the next family process through pain points that have caused a lot of people to retreat and to live a life that is beneath the standard that they were supposed to? See that it's always a reason if you feel the charge and the push to record, not to record, to write. I believe wholeheartedly it's that time. It's supposed to be done. So now we checked off the why. The second way, now we're going to get into the practical points of how to write a book in 30 days. Structure. Say it with me. Structure. One thing I know about you, because one thing I know about me and everybody that has watched this before you and all those that have watched this after you, y'all know how to follow instructions. Think about it. From when we were children, we learned how to follow instructions. We were taught how to follow instructions. So what do we do when it comes to writing? We should be following instructions. So why is it important to have an outline when it comes to writing? Because one thing about your story or your intellect or your experiences is that you know them like the back of your hand. Like you know that stuff. You know what happened. You remember all those things. However, when it comes to writing, we always have to remember you're writing a book. You're writing your manuscript for the person that was not there. So you've got to remember to give them the details, to give them the things that you think are small that actually shift the entire narrative, that shift the story, that allows the reader to be able to jump into the story, to see themselves in the characters. That's important. So in a structure, it does all those things. One thing's for sure, I think everyone who starts writing a book, you should have your chapters outlined. I don't know if that your chapter titles may change, however, but your chapters need to be outlined. We need to know what is the central theme of this chapter. What do I need the reader to take away from this? Also, what are going to be the main key points or topics that I make sure I cover in this chapter? One thing about a book, when you outline it ahead of time, what it becomes at that point is your system of checks and balances. Because I'll even tell you this as a writer myself, it is really easy to write yourself clean off of course. It is really easy to write yourself all the way out of your manuscript, and now you are doing something and talking about something and unpacking things and writing about things that were never a part of your original intent. But that happens because you know your story better than anybody else does. That's why instruction in an outline, a plan of action, is extremely important. The second thing, a calendar. Let me tell you something about writing. Creativity shows up at the appointed time. I wholeheartedly believe that your creativity, your writing juices, your flow can be organized and structured based upon your life. If I don't know anything else, I know that your life is probably extremely busy. You probably got kids, family, other endeavors, other things that you're involved in, and you writing out your first book or your second book or your third book is actually what you need to do, that you feel you have to add on top of that currently busy life. It probably seems unreal. It probably seems like, how on earth can I get this done? And this is why I say writing a book in 30 days. What can you do if you committed yourself to 30 days of intentional time? Mind you, you don't have to shut out your entire life. You don't have to stop everything. But what you can do, what I suggest and what I love, is to build writing times based upon your life. For example, I've coached authors who got up at 5 a.m. to write before their kids and their spouses got up to start their day. I've also coached writers who started writing at 10, 10:30, 11 because that's when their house was quiet. I've also coached writers who literally wrote their entire manuscript on the train or on their commute into work every day. I have worked with authors who blocked off their lunchtime to quietly step away, to sit in their car, to voice record, to put their notes in their phone. They have written their books based upon where their life is. One thing about writing a book, if you commit to it and make those small but temporary adjustments, you can get it done in 30 days. Also, why 30 days is possible. I know you. Now, I may not have met you or have spoken with you yet. I believe that you have committed to some things longer than 30 days. And when you realize that you're doing a big thing, piece by piece, small chunk by small chunk, it already seems digestible. And most importantly, it seems extremely doable. That's why you can write a book in 30 days. Having an outline, being sure on the fact that your manuscript, your story, your intellect aid is needed. The second thing, having a structure, saying, you know what, let me lock in and do this. I put this outline together. I'm following it step by step, lead by lead, moment by moment. And so, therefore, it's going to bring me some great results. And then, lastly, having set writing times. One thing about you is that once you set your mind to it, you can actually do it. And if that has not always been your story, it has just now become your story. Whatever you set your mind to, you can do it. So I challenge you to take 30 days, to take the next 30 days, set your writing times. It doesn't have to be every day. Set it based upon when your mind is fresh and what works best for your life schedule. Push yourself. Push yourself and know that at the end of 30 days, you can have not just a book that's 75% done, but you can have a book that's entirely done. Because I believe in this. It's not always the hardest thing in the world to do. I know it firsthand. I've done this a couple of times and I've helped quite a few people get to this place called there, and I believe that you're next. And if you're saying, you know what, okay, I'm inspired, I'm encouraged, I feel equipped, I can do this, how am I going to get this done? Check out my Book Writing Made Easy resource packet. Let me tell you guys something. As a 5-time published author with 2 or 3 in the queue always at the same time, and have helped people for the last 4, almost 5 years bring their stories to life, I have learned there is a science to doing this. There is a way to do this, and it's not easy. It's not hard. It can be extremely easy. So what I'll put together is my Book Writing Made Easy packet. It has my custom writing outline, and all you have to do is fill in your information from your chapters to your themes to your topics to your sections. All you have to do is put that stuff in the blanks. The next thing, it has my writing calendar. You can legitimately put this calendar on your wall, put it on your bathroom, put it in your office cubicle, put it on your refrigerator, and you set your times. So if you're writing at 5:30 to 6:30 on a Monday because your house is quiet, or if you're writing from 4:45 to 4:45 a.m. to 5:45 a.m. because that's when it works best for you because your mind is fresh in the morning, boom, there it is. We're going to meet our appointment times. We're going to allow creativity and the writing juices to hit us right there at our desk, on our patios, on our phones, however we're going about making it happen. We're going to do it that way. The next thing it includes, now, of course, I've learned a few keys and secrets to be able to make this thing really easy, like to make it pretty smooth. It includes my writing hacks, my literal writer's cheat sheet, some things that major publishers and probably other writing coaches wouldn't tell you. I got a full sheet on how to do that. And then also, lastly, I have a full breakdown of how to write your introduction and your back of book blurb. One thing's for sure is that once your book is done, people are going to get that thing, look at the cover, flip it over, and read the synopsis on the back and decide if this is a book that's going to help them transform their life, their money, their business, their family, their hurt, their pain, whatever it may be, their belief system. They're going to read the back of the book synopsis to see if you have what they need. Well, guess what? You have what they need, and so does this packet. This packet walks you through how to write a bomb introduction for your book and a stellar, killer, thought-provoking, purchase profit increasing back of book blurb that is guaranteed to help you put this thing together, and most important, to make it fly off the shelves. Thank you all so much for joining me for How to Write a Book in 30 Days. I tell you this, you can do it. Go back to my website or hit the link down below and get your packet right now. I promise you, it's going to be the best investment you've made probably this week. I look forward to talking to you guys soon. I look forward to helping you all publish some of your books soon. Also, just a shameless plug, if you need self-publishing assistance, my company Vision Birth Self-Publishing Services, we do it all from book cover design to internal format, to print firm, internal format for print and ebook, children's book illustrations. We set you up on Amazon and or Barnes and Nobles. We make sure that you are set to take your story and your intellect and your wisdom and all that you know to the world. Thank you so much. Coach Ed loves you, and I look forward to reading your book. Yep, I'm going to buy your book. I look forward to seeing you soon. I look forward to reading from you and what you put together soon. And don't forget, you can do this. Have a good one.